There is a quiet kind of power that most people never notice because it does not announce itself. It does not arrive with noise, or headlines, or celebration. It builds in the dark, slowly, one small decision at a time, until one day the world looks at a person and wonders how they got so far while everyone else stayed still. That power is compounding. And two men who understood it better than almost anyone else were Jim Rohn and Warren Buffett. They lived in different worlds, spoke to different audiences, built different kinds of empires, but they were both pointing at the same truth. What you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. Who you become is more important than what you get. And the biggest mistake most people make is interrupting the very process that could have changed everything. Jim Rohn did not start with advantages. He was born on a small farm in Idaho during the Great Depression, and by the time he was 25 years old, he had spent 6 years working hard and had absolutely nothing to show for it. He was broke, behind on his promises, and carrying the weight of a young family that depended on him. The kind of fear that comes from that place is not dramatic or cinematic. It is quiet and heavy. It sits in your chest, while you pretend everything is fine. Rohn was living that life until one evening, he attended a lecture by a man named Earl Schoaf. After the talk, Rohn approached him, hands shaking, and confessed everything. The emptiness, the failure, the desperation. Schoaf looked at him and said something so simple, it almost sounds too easy to be true. Change everything. Rohn asked what he meant, and Schoaf tapped his own chest and said, the problem is not out there. The problem is in here. That single moment rewired Rohn's entire understanding of life. He realized he had been waiting for the world to change, for the economy to improve, for his boss to be fair, for luck to arrive. None of that was ever going to save him. The only thing that could change his life was the person he decided to become. What Schoaf taught him, and what Rohn spent the rest of his life teaching others, was that success is not something you pursue. It is something you attract by the person you become. This is where most people get it backwards. They chase money, chase status, chase the next opportunity, thinking that if they just catch the right break, everything will fall into place. Rohn learned that the break does not matter if the person catching it is not ready. So he started working on himself with the same intensity most people reserve for their jobs. He read books he would have ignored before. He listened to ideas that challenged him. He practiced small disciplines every single day that seemed to produce no immediate result. And that is the part most people cannot tolerate. The silence of the compound. The weeks and months where nothing visible happens. Rohn pushed through that silence, and by the time he was 31, he was a millionaire. But here is what he always emphasized. The money was never the point. The person he had become was the real fortune. That person could lose everything and build it again. That person could start over in any industry and succeed. The skills, the character, the discipline, those were the compound interest of his life, and they never stopped growing. Warren Buffett built the same truth with numbers instead of speeches. He started with $100 and a fascination for how businesses work. While Wall Street chased quarterly earnings and hot tips, Buffett sat in his office in Omaha and read. He read 500 pages a day, every day, for decades. He once told a group of students that knowledge works like compound interest. It builds up slowly, almost invisibly, until one day you see the world more clearly than everyone around you. Then he added the part that stings. All of you can do this, but I guarantee not many of you will.